Hey everyone, it's me, Tim, the Suburban Dad. Today I'm going to talk to you about Flaviar. I was recently gifted a Flaviar subscription for my birthday, and if you've spent any amount of time online or on social media, you've probably come across a Flaviar ad. And you probably thought, is this legit? Is it worth it? Well, I'm here to help you make that decision. Let's get to it. So Flaviar is a service that allows you to try new whiskeys and other spirits if you so choose. You can order sample bottles, you can order full-size bottles, you can subscribe and you'll get quarterly shipments of these things. So it's an opportunity for you to explore and try new whiskeys without having to purchase the whole bottle. All right, so mine was a gift. My subscription was a gift, but I, of course, looked it up so I could tell you guys what the cost involved is. It is $95 for a quarter. You get one 3-bottle sample per quarter and one full bottle per quarter. So the samples come in a cool little thing like this. I already opened mine, so that's why it's a little discombobulated. Got apparently a little coaster stone thingy. They give you a description of each sample that you got. I decided to go with 3 different bottles that I've never tried before, and they are a bourbon, a rye, and a scotch. So I thought it'd be fun to try them next to each other and be able to compare and contrast directly. So the bourbon is Breckenridge. It's 43% alcohol, so 86 proof. And I've seen it out a lot. I've never tried it anywhere. They give a flavor profile on the back. I'm not going to look at that, so it doesn't cloud my judgment for just giving you guys my honest opinion. The rye is a brand called Few Rye Whiskey. This one is 46.5 proof, so it's 93, or 46.5%, so it's 93 proof. The Scotch is one that I've never heard of, which isn't saying a whole lot because I'm not a big Scotch guy, but it's Wolfburn. It's a Highland single malt Scotch, and it's 46%, so 92 proof. I'm very excited to try all these side by side and compare. When you open your sample box, the bottles come just like this. So again, very cute. Just little, I guess about 2-ounce bottles of 50 ml. So 50 ml bottles here. All right. Now, already you can see a color difference with these. The bourbon over here is it's kind of middle of the road as far as darkness to the whiskey. The rye actually is the darkest of these 3, which is a little surprising to me, and the Scotch is extremely light colored. Now, the Scotch is actually slightly higher proof than the bourbon, so I'm interested to see how they actually taste. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in with the bourbon first. I'm going to do about half of each of these. All right, so again, this one is kind of middle of the road in terms of hue, amber color. It's got a very mild, pleasant, fruity smell to it. Fruity, sweet. light. It definitely does not hit you in the face with alcohol scent. So it smells like just a more mild, sweet, fruity whiskey. Let's go ahead and have a taste, see what it's like. So this is the Breckenridge bourbon. Okay. So the sweetness carries over into the palate for sure. And again, it's not a super strong whiskey, which makes sense for it's only 86 proof. The finish, so it starts off, let me go again. Starts off sweet, honey almost, got a fruit note in the middle, and then a fairly quick finish, a little dry on the finish. So I've talked about Maker's Mark 46 being a very fruity type of bourbon. This is definitely a different type of fruity. Can't say that I'm a super fan of this. It has almost a medicinal type fruitiness. You know, that old cough syrup that you'd have to drink as a kid. It's kind of along those lines. So not getting real distinct, you know, strawberry or cherry or berry flavors to it. Just when I drink it, I get a sense of fruitiness. So, yeah, last sip here. Not super creamy, but not too watery either. The mouthfeel is actually pretty okay. Yeah, not so keen on the flavor though, I must say. So that's the Breckenridge bourbon. That's the first sample that I got. So I'm gonna set this glass aside. A little sip of water to cleanse my palate. All right, so that was bourbon. Next, letter B is the Rye Whiskey. So let's have a try of this guy. Like I said, this is the darkest of the three samples that I have. Generally, the darker whiskey is, the more flavor profile it's going to have, the more complex it's going to be, oftentimes. Okay, so on the nose, let me have a little bit warm water first. Okay. All right, so on the nose, what do we get here? This one's not super distinct. Sweeter as well, not quite as sugary almost as the last one. I can tell it's got a sweet tone to it, but it's a little more of a woody, like a woody tone, possibly even some baking spices in there. Kind of hard to tease out those different scents. It's on the milder side. So let's go ahead and have a taste. Okay, so that one's creamier than I expected. It does have a little bit of a kick to it. If you remember from my first video, ryes generally have more spice to them. Rye is a spicier flavor profile. And this one definitely is a little more spicy than the bourbon that I just tried. Yeah, I do like this one better for sure so far. It's got creaminess, a little bit of sweetness, definitely some baking spices, and a little bit of spice kick to it. It doesn't pack nearly the punch as I would expect for a rye. Yeah, so it's kind of like a, okay, so this one definitely has more of a finish. So with a bourbon, a whiskey, it's really nice to have one that has a long, drawn out finish. It helps you appreciate the sip even more. It kind of lends itself, I keep doing this with my hands, it's like a little journey that your tongue takes with the flavors. This one definitely has a good finish to it. It's got a nice prolonged finish. You can get a little bit of the Kentucky hug going. Definitely getting some cinnamon. So if you think red hot candies, those little red pebbly pellet things, that's what I'm getting with this. Not quite like Fireball whiskey, but this definitely has like a cinnamon flavor to it. A little bit of sweetness, definitely some spice. So far, this one I like definitely better than the bourbon. So far the few rye is winning. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Another thing that I'll be talking about in a minute here is my actual bottle that I got. So this is one that I've never heard of before. The company is Far North Spirits. They're based in Minnesota, and this is their Bourbon. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's got one of those weird European O things going on. So I'll try that in a minute as well. You guys can see what I think of that. I've already had that a few times. Last sample is the Scotch. So Wolfburn Scotch. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just amazed at the color of this. It's so light. I don't think I've ever seen a whiskey that's this light, this pale in color. So I don't know if you're able to see that very well. Kind of looks like pea or apple juice, but yeah, it's very light. I'm a dad. I'm used to talking about going potty all the time, so yeah, that's the first reference I think of. Wow. Okay, so this, I was not expecting that nose at all. Wow, that is super, super fruity. That's like I opened a can of pears and was just sniffing it. Very, yeah, pears is what comes to my mind distinctly on this nose. Man, sometimes, like these first two samples, I had to think about it, hunt around a little bit for what my scent was, what my nose was picking up. And this one, it was just like, yep, there it is, pears, good. So, I don't know, that was unexpected for a Scotch to me. Pears for sure. Honey, maybe. Like white grapes. Yeah, white grapes and pears is what I'm getting. So clearly very fruity scent to it. Having a little bit more water first. I want to make sure I get a clear indicator of what this tastes like. I'm so curious now. Yeah, that very interesting. It seriously is like if they turned white grape juice into a Scotch, that's what this is like. When I've had Scotch before, it's been a very smoky, peaty flavor to it. I haven't delved into Scotch very much at all. So this is a single malt, which most Scotches are. I'm not going to get into Scotch right now, but this is way sweeter and fruitier than I expected. But seriously, it's actually really good. Yeah, that is a nice sippable drink right there. Very fruity, not a super long finish, not strong or powerful at all. I could see having this after dinner, nice little desserty type drink, or out on the patio relaxing on a nice warm day. It's got a little bit of spice at the end, just a little bit. I would say a medium-ish finish. The bourbon was a very short finish. The rye was also a medium finish, and this one's medium. Yeah, wow, this is opening my eyes. So, there you go. Flaviar is accomplishing its goal right here. Yeah, kind of creamy. Just very fruity though. Man, I cannot get over that. So, pleasant surprise. Pleasant surprise on that one. So, if I had to rank these in terms of what did I like, what did I not like? I did not like the bourbon. Okay, so I did not like Breckenridge bourbon. The rye was okay. I would for sure drink it again. I don't know that I'd actually buy a full bottle of it. And the Scotch was a very interesting experience. That was very unexpected, but fun and tasty. Again, don't think I'd buy the whole bottle, but I'm excited to have tried that. So I would say the rye was number one, the Scotch was number two, and the bourbon was third. With Flaviar, once you're a member, you can get discounted on shipping for all of their bottles that they have that you can just buy. Like, they have a ton of bottles on there for sale. You can just order them, have them shipped to your house. By the way, if that wasn't clear, that's what happens is you order this online and it comes shipped directly to your house. You have to have an adult there who can sign for it. And they've been having higher demand lately, and it did take a while. It was like 10 to 14 days, I think, before it got here, which wasn't a big deal. I wasn't in a hurry to get it, but it took a little bit longer than expected. If you are somebody who's looking to try a bunch of allocated, hard to find, popular whiskeys, this is not the site for you. They have a lot of those bottles for purchase on there. They are not part of their sampling selection. I was a little disappointed by their selection for samples, although they did have a Balcones trio, the single malt, baby blue, and the Texas rye. Almost got that one, but I already have the baby blue, so I figured I'd explore a little bit. They're a great way to find these niche bottles. So like I said, Far North Spirits, it's a company I've never heard of, bottle I've never seen before, and would probably never. I don't know how widely distributed it is outside of Minnesota. So if you're somebody who likes that kind of local products and stuff like that, you would probably enjoy getting a chance to try this. If you were to ask me, okay, is it worth it? Does it accomplish the goal of being able to try stuff that you're not able to try? For me, it's a no. Because I have access to some really great whiskey bars around here for 90 bucks, $95 and a quarter, I could try 6+ really nice pours compared to 3, 4. And those are local. I could go there anytime and try them. Now, maybe you don't have places like that around you, or maybe you just don't have the opportunity to get out very often. Maybe this would be more up your alley. I'm enjoying having this subscription. To be quite honest, I probably would not subscribe myself if I were putting my own money out there. I'll try this bottle as well for you guys, just so you get the full scope of my Flaviar experience. Now, this one, I must say, caught me off guard, and I'll tell you why in a second. This is a bourbon. It is 94 proof. And this must be a smaller company, because it looks like all the information is handwritten on these bottles. They said this bottle was like $35 in value, I think. So, on the nose, more of a caramel flavor, so more, or scent, more of that classic bourbon smell to it. Caramel butterscotch, butter, caramel corn. Yeah, almost like a buttery scent to it. Not much in the way of an alcohol punch, which is nice. I'm going to take one more sip of water here. All right, let's have a sip of this bourbon. Get all the water out of my mouth. Did you know that if you drink water and you have that in your mouth, obviously it's going to dilute whatever you're drinking. It can act like an ice cube, or it can change the flavor. So that's why I'm trying to clear up my mouth between sips of water. Right from the start. Whew, I haven't done that in a while. So, this is what surprised me about this bottle. It started off as caramel, butterscotch, smooth, creamy flavor, and then all of a sudden it punches you in the throat like a rye. When I look at the label, oh, shocker, 60% heirloom corn, 30% AC Hazlitt rye. 30% rye, that's pretty high. And then 10% malt barley. So yeah, this puppy's got some bite to it, some spice kick. And it really sneaks up on you. It's not until the back half of the taste that you get that. It's not unpleasant. It can be a little surprising, as you saw. Yeah, I'm enjoying this bottle. And I don't know, maybe up in Minnesota, cold and wintry as it gets up there, they need that extra punch for them to get through their day. Down here in Missouri, that's a little bold. It's a little bold around here. I do like it though. It does have some fruitiness to it. Kind of similar to some tones of that Scotch that I had, the Wolfburn. A little bit of apple juice or white grape maybe. Yeah. Not sure if I'd buy this bottle on its own. Let's put it this way. I wouldn't re-buy it. Not a bad bottle to try once. For me, I don't think I'd buy it again. It's good, but it's not that good. So, that is my Flaviar experience. And it has its pluses, has its minuses. They've actually got some bottles on there that I'm interested to possibly order. Like I said, the allocated stuff is really overpriced and not worth it to me at all, especially when I can try it at the local whiskey bar. And But they have a Sazerac rye for only 28 bucks. And some of the Balcones line, you guys know I love Balcones. It's great. You should get some. So overall, don't think I would buy a subscription, but I am enjoying it while I have it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it. Subscribe to the channel. Share this channel with all your bourbon buddies. And if you really don't like it, then share it with the people that you don't like, so that they can suffer too and watch me. Until next time, cheers, everybody.